Hey guys, I didn't think I had any plans today, but turns out it's doors open Toronto, so I'm hitting the road. I'm gonna check out some random buildings. For my first stop, go to 1 Spadina Crescent. This is UFT's facility of architecture, landscape, and design. And it's gonna open up next fall, I guess. And I didn't know anything about this building until today. And I had heard stories about it being like used as a laboratory, and that they had like gotten a bunch of eyeballs and stuff, like weird shit going down in here. And I'm not really sure. Like, I looked it up online and there is some like weird history stuff, but I don't know, it all just seems kind of far-fetched. Stuff involving like Amelia Earhart volunteering to like treat First World War soldiers' wounds and stuff. It's like, what? Wow, this is kind of a funny thing. A church with a condo on top. Here's north of the building along Spadina. Here's like a little theater. And then in here, I guess, is where all the desks and chairs that are normally throughout the building are being stored. And here's some lockers. Like, these are pretty nice looking lockers. Just like, yeah. But yeah, enough of that building. I gotta go see other buildings. So I go to this place, and I'm like, alright, this kind of just seems like a building lobby. But behind me there's a tour guide waiting for people to come, and I hop on the elevator with them and we go to the 17th floor, which is Allied, their headquarters, or their main office. And man, this is a really nice view. It's windows on all sides of the building, so you can just see all around. And their office space is like pretty dope. I'm jealous. I want to work in like not shit desks like I kind of work at right now. Apparently that big hole is going to be a new mountain equipment co-op, which is kind of weird because I kind of like the building it's in right now. What's wrong with that? So yeah, they're talking about like, oh, you know, we can move these walls around and these windows let in a lot of light. The roof is a green roof on this building, and it like affects rain drainage. Here's Queen Spadina. You can see that McDonald's. You can see all the way to Mississauga, probably further. Then I head over to the waterworks, and this place is kind of a disappointment. I didn't read too much about it, but basically it's just this warehouse space that they're gonna transform into condos and a public market in the warehouse. The condos they're gonna build on top of this building. And I head over towards the sugar factory, but I see that this church is also open, so I go inside. And they have a pianist playing a song. It's like really good. Yeah, you know, it's really good. It was amazing. Yeah, and the church itself was also pretty nice. I've only been to church maybe like 2 or 3 times, and I kind of like it. Just for when they play music and like sing along stuff, it is kind of nice. I don't really like the lecture or sermon or whatever, but the music's nice. Now, it's red past sugar time. I'm pretty pumped to see inside this place. I'm like, man, how much of it are they gonna let me check out? And it turns out it's actually pretty like taped off. You can't go all over the place, but you can go inside of this warehouse, which they use to store raw sugar. It's like, wow. And I overhear a lady behind me. She's talking to someone. She says, oh, this is unrefined sugar. It has molasses. You can't eat it. And of course I'm like, well, how bad could it really be? So I pick up a handful of sugar when they aren't looking, and then I go somewhere where they won't look at me as I eat it. And I taste some and I'm like, oh, well, this is just sugar. But I throw the rest on the ground because I don't want to just eat a bunch of sugar. If it was salt though, maybe. I figure, we can go over here. Look at this thing. That's kind of cool. And I'm like, oh, what? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, now I just have sticky feet. Great. Here's a sugar museum. And at the time, I didn't notice all these signs saying to keep to the left, but I went to the right because there was less people to the right. Here's some, I don't know, toys with sugar stuff on it. This guy must have been small, because looking at that coat, I'm like, that's a small coat. Here's like a pump. Neat. And here's a bunch of Red Path sugar products that you can find in your local supermarket right now. All in all, Red Path sugar, pretty decent. And at this point, I'm getting sort of hungry, so go across the street to the Loblaws. And this is a nice Loblaws because it's big. So, sitting down in their like eating area, gonna eat some chicken tendies. And I salted those. Just gotta stay salty. They have these weird conveyor belts instead of like stairs or escalators, I guess for carts. And so you can make good panning shots of a building across the street that's not done. And I exit through this Joe Fresh and I'm like, hey, wait a second. I could use some black jeans. So I'm like, yeah, alright. I like this. And I also saw this jacket that was on clearance for $25. I was like, no, I don't need more jackets. Fuck it. So, I think I'm gonna head home. Just film in some of the streets, because it's nice to look at stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, Church of the Holy Trinity's open. Let's see what's inside there, because I've never been inside of this church. This one, it's not as nice as the first church, but it seems a little more down to earth, like, like they're with it. They had like an apology to Aboriginal people, which is like, I don't know. Some giant cracks in the walls, apparently from underground construction in the Eaton Center, like delivery area or something. And they have a Toronto Homeless Memorial for the people that die on our streets from being homeless. So that's you know, they're keeping it real. They're like, hey, people are dying, literally, on our streets from being street people. And I guess this is gonna be a bridge to bridge the Eaton Center and the Bay. Or maybe they just took it down and they're doing something else with it. I'm not really sure. Here's the old city hall. And I figure, well, I'm here, I might as well check this place out, even though I wasn't really planning on it. Some really fancy doorway. All the people in there. That's kind of creepy. Here's their lobby. Pretty ritzy. Here's a courtroom. I was allowed to film in this courtroom. Apparently there's like a lot of places you're not supposed to film in there. And now I'm like, alright, that really is enough. I'm gonna go home. Except I didn't. I went to Canadian Tire and bought a selfie stick because I was like, this would have been nice to have.